I want to talk about manifestation and Christian faith. You guys remember that book? What was that book called? Oh, right, The Power of Now. I think that's it. Well, the problem with manifestation, I believe that manifestation works to a certain point. But here's the problem with manifestation as it being absolute power. How many people on the earth right now? 7 billion people. How many people dream about the earth becoming a paradise for everybody? How many people in history dreamed about the earth becoming a paradise for everybody? I've I've dreamed about things never happened, never popped up, never worked out. How many people dreamed about loves that they lost in the past and were trying to manifest it, to pop up into reality, and it never happened? So I don't believe in manifestation as I believe there's some kind of property to it to a certain extent. I don't believe it's going to be your life-saving force. Now, I'm a Christian, so I believe that God, the Creator, is a separate entity with his own free will. He's all powerful, but he's holy. That's like the main thing to realize. He's holy. You have a battle here on earth of good and evil, God versus the devil, one being good and one being evil. God holy is a holy God is a God that doesn't believe in killing. There's no exception. Well, as in murder. But self-defense is a different story, but as in murder. There's never, ever a justified murder. There's never a justified any breaking of the Ten Commandments. In fact, all of them. So, that's a holy God. The devil has no boundaries. There's no lines. He could do whatever he wants to do. Even Christ, when he healed people, he said, "Your faith has made you whole." He didn't say my faith. When he healed him, he didn't say my faith has made you whole. As he healed him, he would say your faith has made you whole. So there is some kind of power to faith and manifestation, being linked together. But there again, a lot of it is divine intervention. And also, I made a mistake when I was talking about the end of the world. A lot of people do it. We think the devil's going to have all this power over the saints. Because, the Bible says the beast was, he went to war with the saints and he had the power and he conquered them. He overpowered them. The problem with that is that was the story of the two beasts that stretches all the way from the time of Jesus up until now, which is 2,000 years. And like Doug Batchelor, a lot of other I guess preachers, evangelists, whatever they call them, they actually have proven by the dates, by the areas, that the beast system was the Catholic Church. Matter of fact, they do the math on it, and it actually the beast's head gets wounded right at the time Napoleon showed up, and the Catholic Church got wounded, and actually had to kind of go underground. And it said the wound healed, and now the Catholic Church. I mean, if you look back, a lot of people, the Queen of England, presidents of the United States, you have to get permission from the Pope, which doesn't make sense. He's not the Pope of America, but it's because America is not really home of the free. It's an illusion that they created so you would think you're free. They realize that freedom does prosper better than any kind of communist system or socialist system. So they allowed it to be free for a certain amount of time so it could become the muscle for the Illuminati. Hitler was a blueprint. They wanted to figure out, they had a plan, they executed it through Hitler, and they wanted to see how their plan would go. He was never meant to conquer the entire world. It was just part of the plan. Actually, a lot of people think he escaped and he actually had help from the people that were running Hitler. The globalist. Illuminati. So it's a blueprint. And now you can see the plan unfolding. The swastika, right? You can see satanic symbols all over our products for the last 50 years. It has a hypnotizing property linked to cymatics, the study of harmonics and shapes. Then you got Hitler burned down the Reichstag and created the Enabling Act, where they can come and arrest you and kill you and never tell no one they did it. And then here you have the government the shadow government that knocked down the Twin Towers and created the Patriot Act. So you have the Reichstag, they blamed it on someone else, and the Enabling Act. You have the Twin Towers, they blamed it on someone else, the Patriot Act. It's the same story. This time it's a little more, I would say a lot more advanced. They have they're using the high-tech weapons. They had this kind of science for a long time. Not us, but the shadow government. And they're more advanced. They say 10 years, 20 years. They're way past that. They're I would say at least 50 years. I know from personal stories and from people I know. Some of this stuff would blow your mind. Like the cure for cancer. Those are things that a lot of us know about, but the sheeple aren't aware of it. And then people die all the time because they hold this stuff back. The pharmaceutical